Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. This is me, your host, Preacher Moss, the host of the SOS Shout Out Show. I'm so glad you can make it. If you took time out of your schedule, God bless you. This is a different type of topic. I normally don't respond to a whole lot of stuff, but we had something happen recently. I had a lot of people reach out to me in regards to something that happened with host and star of Patriot Act, Hasan Minhaj, in a recent episode of Netflix. Now, before I get into this, I want everybody to know that I know Hasan Minhaj. So I'm not doing some errant rap right here. I'm not even taking the guy to task. I'm just saying something happened and it just needs to be addressed. Brother has always been respectful to me. He's always been kind to me. But in this situation, this is something that needs to be addressed. He gave a dua, and the dua was preempted by the fact that they've given another, uh, let's say, space of expression about George Floyd and all those things. And and he made a thing while he was about to interview Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, about how Muslims gave him a lot of blues about going after dua because he said something about Muslims, you just can't do dua. Basically saying you just can't do dua. You got to get out there and be active. You got to make it happen, which I agree with. But it was framed going after him for going after dua, which you really can't do. And then he proceeded to sort of like, I'm going to placate these people. I'm going to make a dua for these people. And the dua started out, cool, and then it kind of delved into a lot of silliness, a lot of foolishness. And as much as I like Hasan Minhaj, I could say he's also been, he's a good brother. He's doing good things, I believe. But let's say he's a respectful brother. I like him, but let's just get to the point. The dua was disrespectful. And we can put a lot of sugarcoating on that. And I feel as though I have to say something, not just because I'm a Muslim, but because I'm a Muslim comedian. And when I started the game, Hassan might have been maybe, I don't know, 17, 18 years old. And we carried ourselves. And I think it's important to understand that in the comedy game has changed because people don't look at the Muslim lifestyle as valuable and viable in a lot of cases. So when Hollywood comes to visit about Muslim life, it's always this paradigm where we get pimped, if you will. And in this case, I felt like the dua was pimped. I felt like the adults in the room needed to cut off the cameras and say, hey, wait a minute, brother, we love you, but this is not what we do. We love you, but this is not what we do. This is not who we are. Now, I have to say, and I'm going to speak out because I met Brother Hassan in March 9th, 2008. It was for a CARE Sacramento Valley event. I was there with Allah Made Me Funny, myself, Azar Usman, Mo Emmer. We were all there, and he's a good guy. His father asked if we could speak to him. He came. We had a great conversation, and I've been supportive of the brother ever since. Everything he's done, the Daily Show, all that type of stuff, and I always reach out. Like I said, the brother's always been respectful. But this is something that was personal because, and I love Brother Hassan, but Brother Hassan knows that, his ability to get on stage is a result of the work that happened before him. His ability to talk truth to power about political issues is about the people that came before him. The idea that the United States opened up itself because his father is, I believe, a chemist, his mother's a doctor, his sister is an attorney. These are professional people. Let me tell you what the deal is. This religion, at this point in time, we can't afford mockery from our own folks. Whether it's for views, whether it's for likes, whether it's for pay, there's too much of it going on right now. There's a syndrome called being the Muslim in the room. And what that means is when you're the Muslim in the room, people are going to ask you questions, not because they want to know the answers, they want to know your reaction. So when they bring things around you, they're testing you. My beloved brother, Hasan Minhaj, I'm not going to say you made a mistake. I'm just going to say you could have made a better decision. When I mean a better decision, just looking at not just the act of making this dua. And let me tell you something, brother. I love you. But the people that you were directing this to, I understand it was mostly brown, Indian, Pakistani people. But that's another mistake. There are black people here in the United States that have gone to jail for this right here. Do you know the history of Muhammad's Mosque number 27 in Los Angeles? Many of you don't. It's been brushed away. But here it was, the Nation of Islam Masjid, mosque, if you will, in Los Angeles. Brothers were in there praying, trying to get guidance and direction from Allah with their hands up, and the police ran in there and shot unarmed Muslims like this. And if you believe that they're going to shoot you while you're praying, this George Floyd thing should not be a surprise to anybody watching this telecast. So my brother Hasan, listen, before that ever happens again, reach out to your big brother. Reach out to people who will tell you, man, hey, listen, we love you, but that's not acceptable. That's not what we do. And you're in Minnesota, man. The only reason you're in Minneapolis is because a black man was murdered by the police. And this is a police that, despite, you can go through a whole lot of things, but the police are 9 times out of 10 not going to do that to a brother like you. You're not going to be in that situation. You're not going to have the situation George Floyd was dealing with. But a lot of us, we don't have TV shows, and our religion is day to day. So it's no studies or conversations about studying out Ashar or long conversations about fiqh and things like that, and jurisprudence and Sharia. We're talking about a religion that has to get us from day to day. And the thing that is the difference between survival and madness for many of us Muslims is this right here. And so it bothered a lot of folks. Do we love what you do? Of course we love what you do. We cheer you. You know, I've supported you hands down. I had brothers come at me kind of aggressive after you did the roast or the NBA awards. They be like, you know this dude? I said, yeah, that's your man with you. I said, that's my man. And I said, he's a comedian. I said, he's roasting people. And I'm telling you, man, have fun, roast people, da-da-da. But man, please, when it comes to the mercy that Allah has provided in dua, man, you got to draw the line. You got to draw the line, not anybody else. Because this right here is sacred. Now, I'm not going to point out any other stuff that I could be pointing out right now because it'd be futile. The idea that what I said is important because this belies where we are in the United States today. You see, doing this mockery of dua, you don't understand the power of television, my brother. Or maybe you do. Or maybe you disregarded it. And maybe it was a joke. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you could have made a better decision. But the fact of the matter is, listen, bro, this right here, you can't mess with it. That's almost saying, you know what? I'm going to pray Fajr with 1 rakat. Ha, 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 ha. And the reason is there are people who are waiting for you to do exactly what you did. There are people who will sit in a room hoping that there's somebody, God, that we can get out here and we can clown Muslims on it. As soon as they find a Muslim clowning on Muslims, that's the thing. Take it from me, brother. I named the tour, Allah made me funny. But one thing you can take from me, in all the years I've been out performing in front of Muslims, they'll never tell you that I made a mockery of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I never made a mockery of Muslims. And I never made a mockery of prayer. And I never made a mockery of dua. We were the trailblazers. Let me give you history. 2004, the Improv in Washington, D.C., brother. Not only did we go into that place and told them that we had Muslim values, but we leveraged it to the point where they didn't serve alcohol and they didn't serve pork. And before we started the show, we had over 300 Muslims praying in the lobby. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. That's what we were dealing with. And so it's disheartening Because right now we sit here fighting the battle for Muslim identity, and I love you, man. But look, bro, here's the game, man. All true, and anyone else out here, here's the game, huh? You make a mockery of dua. Do you know how important Islam is to the African American community and the African American Muslim? It's not that we didn't know how to pray, we were denied how to pray. It's not that Islam wasn't around us, it was taken from us. So yeah, it's a lot of brothers in the hood, man, they're feeling some sort of way. They in their emotions about this thing. I mean, old school, brother, I'm telling you. There's some parts of the United States you couldn't do that. Cats will snatch you off the street because that's how much they love this religion. But it's not about snatching off the street. It's the fact of the matter is you're in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You're making a dua. Man, did you make a dua for George Floyd's family and what they're going through before we got to the jokes about Doritos and stuff like that? It didn't happen, man. This is a pivotal piece, man. Black folk are hurting. You're there in Minneapolis because of the death of a black man and a bunch of other black folks who've been murdered by police brutality and constitutional law. And doggone it, man, at a place and time where we needed you to stand up, brother. The people you seem to, advocate for, you're there for, man. And a lot of folks felt let down. Before you did this sketch, man, outside of Keith Ellison, man, you could have reached out to me. Hey, Preach, do you think this is going to be good, man? And I'd have told you the truth, whether you did it or not, man. At least, brothers and sisters, at least between myself and Hasan Minhaj, we had a conversation. We had a dialogue. I could understand a point of view and share a point of view. But this is probably a bigger issue because you know what? I'm just going to say it, between African-American Muslim comedians and immigrant Muslim comedians, we don't talk. And that was the problem. So I now have to talk to my computer and reach out. And I want everybody to know how old school I am. Because the old school I'm reflecting is not old school. It's trying to follow in a prophetic tradition. So before I ever did this thing, I picked up the phone and I called Brother Hasan Minhaj. I've done it before. I did it today. And I left a message for him. So I don't want to hear like Preach was out of pocket. No, I reached out to you first. And the other thing is, plain and simple, let this be a lesson to all Muslims out there and all you Muslim entertainers. Don't think that you work in a bubble. Because I'm going to tell you something about what I saw with this dua that was a mockery. And I'm not even going to put this on Hasan Minhaj. But unfortunately, this is what people are reacting to. You see, brother, when you make that dua, people are looking. And there's two reactions. See, number one, if you make the dua and it's real, the people who are detractors, the people who are out to hurt you in our community, they step back. They say, I don't want to mess with that guy because he has an ally. He has God. When you make a mockery, they say, oh, he ain't serious. He's not serious. And I'm telling you, man, in white supremacy terms, brother, stop giving people favors. Stop giving them pathways to this religion to hurt us. I know you weren't thinking about that when you did this whole thing. I can see that, man. I've told everybody, you got a good heart. If from brother to brother, I love this brother, everybody. I do. I love this brother. And anything he would ask me at this point in time, if it's in my power, I would give it to him. But at the same time, if it's something that's disrespectful, out of love, I have to speak to this brother. And I hope you guys don't mind that I have to do that. You see, because that thing, that Netflix thing and the show, alhamdulillah, man, God bless you for your success. You've known I've called you and texted you. In fact, brother, you've gotten duas from me. We've made duas together. So this is not a new thing, brother. You've seen this. You've reached out and you said, hey, you called me what I'm the Obi-Wan Kenobi. You the Padawan. I'm old school, you young school. That connection has to still maintain, brother. I ain't looking for no favors, no handouts, but I am looking for respect. And it's not respect for me, it's respect for this religion. Because I'm going to tell you something, bro. Whether it was funny or not, you run that show. You're the star. You can tell them, you know what, cut. We're not going to release that. And do something else. And I'm going to say something to everybody very, very clearly about where we are in terms of this entertainment thing. See, the Muslim game is never really a good Muslim game in the United States and the Hollywood offices, if you will, if we can't be made fools of, if we can't be made minstrels of, you've heard my telecast, Muslims in blackface. This is a situation that's closely mirrors Muslim in blackface. I don't have to make mockery of you. I can get someone else to make mockery of you. And why it hurts? Why it hurts? Because I'm 18, almost 19 years older than this young man. 18 years, almost 19 years older than this young man. And the fact of the matter is, he may be young, but he doesn't understand that the people that you say you make dua in front of, a lot of them ain't Muslim. A lot of them have no intention of being Muslim. A lot of people, man, are out in front of their houses against protesters, against peaceful protesters with guns in their hands trying to scare people. This is the place and time we live. I'm only saying, brother, be strategic. If you're going to do something, be strategic. Because there's a young kid there that watched Hasan Minhaj do this thing, and he loves Hasan Minhaj. But what he got out of that dua is I can be goofy. And I can hear it now in schools where young girls go to school, young Muslims go to school, young Muslims go to school, and somebody goes, oh, look, I'm making dua. Look at me. Hey, Allah, hey, Lord, scratch my butt. Forgive me for that, but that's real. You see, because, brother, I've been black longer than you've been born. And let me explain something to you. Ain't nothing more frustrating when a white man uses the N-word and we get all upset. And his logic is, why can't I use it? I see you guys use it with one another, and we got to step back. And we got to hope that there's some scholarly response to dig us out of a hole that we've been digging for a long time. Now, on the up and up, man, there's peace. And I will hope out of this thing that Hasan Minhaj, you will pick me up, you pick up your phone, you'll give me a call, and we'll have this dialogue. And just so people know that I'm not sleeping, because I know you're not sleeping, I wrote an article about the show Rami. And I didn't like some of the things on the show Rami. It's like, hey, man, you're going to be a star. Leave Allah in the Muslim game out of it. Please, leave the Muslim Ummah out of it. We got enough issues to deal with. And I called Rami. When I wrote the article, I called him. I could tell you the time that I called him. And I'm not saying anything that's anything new. I'm saying things that have to be reminded. We have to continue to remind ourselves. I went through hell and high water trying to have a halal comedy tour called Allah Made Me Funny. And you have no idea. And here's my brother. I got my brother right here. Right here, Jihad Ahmed. He put up one of the first Allah Made Me Funny shows in Philadelphia. I'm going to give us some shout outs to everybody, man. I appreciate you guys digging in with me for a little bit. He put up a show called Allah Made Me Funny in Philadelphia. And there were some Muslims that were so upset by the name Allah Made Me Funny, that as he put up posters and flyers, they tore him down. Jihad, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. They took his posters down. We did the show on the campus at Temple University. His advertising, they got so upset that they took his post because of the name. Not anything we said, not anything we performed on, just the name. And I thought that was narrow-minded. So I will walk a fine line here and let everybody know that one of the reasons I'm talking to this brother is not because I'm some Muslim scholar, but I'm a Muslim comedian. And there has to be authorship and at some point in time, mentorship for younger comedians that aspire to do this thing and hold on to their deen. I was not born Muslim. I said that. But it emphasizes something. It emphasizes that to myself, all jokes aside, there are times in this religion of Muslim, in the Muslim community, all I had to hold on to in regards was dua. And I walked a very, very fine line. So yeah, I do take it personally. There's some brothers who are very upset. I had to talk them off the ledge when they saw the dua, because they're like, this is what we rarely get opportunities in the sun. We rarely get opportunities to shine, and this is what we do. If we're supposed to be religion of excellence, brother, if you're gonna do that, call somebody. Call somebody. Let somebody know, hey man, this is kind of how I'm feeling. What do you think? I talk about the Muslim in the room. You know what? It's like it's darn that there's not a whole lot of Muslim writers in the room. And I know it's damn sure not no black Muslim writers in the room because I've been checking. That aside, this is a message of love. You know, I I actually sent out clips of this thing of the dua, and I watched the rest of it. You know, I know Blood Brother's gonna say he uses some profanity, da da da. I'm like, that's the game, that's the hustle. If that's what you think sells, that's what you think sells. I can move over that. I can deal with the profanity. I've been dealing with it for years. I've worked in nightclubs. I've had horror stories of being a Muslim in the nightclub. I'm trying to pray in the corner, and I see the brother over here doing cocaine. I look at him. He doesn't say, does this offend you? He goes, do you want some? No, you need to take the cocaine and get out of here so I can pray. That's a real story. Thus, when I see young brothers like Mo Ammer and Rami and Hasan Minhaj, I have a swelling in my heart. I'm happy. That was a dream when I started Allah Made Me Funny. Way back when. That was the dream, that we get out here. But the other dream was when you get out, you wouldn't forget the mercy and the barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you wouldn't forget the ummah that held you up when nobody else will hold you up. But see, this is old school. So I'm 53 now. So I feel like, I've gotten to a certain point in life and I realized I didn't get there by myself. I'm not talking about people doing me favors. I'm just talking about people who put in a good word for me. They said nice things. They checked on me. And that's the way. That's the way of the real Muslim community. And we have to be in a situation where we're not afraid to check ourselves. Because I had some brothers who said, hey, man, you need to address it. I had some brothers say, don't pay no attention. I had some brothers like, I don't want nothing to do with it. Listen, man, you could say Hasan Minhaj is a star. I would say he's doing well. Alhamdulillah. But I don't care if you're a star or you're homeless. If you do something disrespectful, it's our tradition that you're spoken to and you get checked. I'm telling folks. And it's not for the fact that anybody should be fearful. It's not you should be fearful of a repercussion. You should be fearful of the fact that you didn't do something when it needed to happen. And in that dua, I was torn. Some brothers were deflated, grown men deflated, because it tells you where we are in these times. So Hassan, brother, I love you, man, but it was a misstep. And anytime you want to have that discussion, you have my number. It can't be said I didn't call you, because I did call you. I did reach out. And this is just keeping it real, brothers and sisters. So as we begin to wrap up, let this be a lesson for where we are in this point in time. Let this be a lesson in the context of what we need to be focusing on. That when we get our Hasan Minhajes and things like that, that we support them, but we don't, brothers and sisters. We support them, but we support them when they deserve the support. And when they don't deserve support, we speak up. Because respect has to be two ways. Number one, when it's easy to give, and number two, when it's hard to withhold. Comedy is a nuanced type of thing. Okay, everybody says I have my perspective, da 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 da. You know what? When in the Muslim brand, your perspective is tied to core values, core principles. And those core principles, I'm not saying everybody's perfect or anybody's perfect. We're not that. Okay? We're not that. We all make mistakes. But sometimes we have to catch our language and we have to catch the intention in our language. You have to say, like a maxim, it's not where it starts, but where it's going to go to. And I just don't want to deal with yet another situation where somebody felt like they could disrespect Islam because they saw a Muslim do it. Now, the grade of disrespect, that's not the point here. I'm not here to lecture or scold Hasan Minhaj. I'm here for all of us viewing, all of us that know Hasan, all of us that know me, all of us that know people in the community, all of us that know ourselves, and the love and devotion and mercy we have from coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those are the things that you hold on to. So I don't need to keep going further. I've made my case. I laid it out. Inshallah, I made my case. And I thought it was important to let people know I wasn't shooting from the back. Like, I don't know. I said, I know this brother. And I spent time and energy trying to figure out the best of ways to bring it to this situation scenario. However, yeah, man, I'm not perfect. When I say I'm not perfect, it's like maybe I could have done something, but I didn't need to come hard. I just came with the facts. Sometimes you have a sledgehammer, you put a little velvet on it, and it's still gonna be what it is, but you have to let it be known. Because I can't allow this situation to replicate itself again. See, you see conversations. There was a great George Carlin bit where he talked about how people manage the inefficiency through language. And I see that going on in our community now. So people try and find the hadith, but it also says, look, man, if it's disrespectful, it's disrespectful. And I would hope, brothers and sisters, if any of you saw me out of pocket, and I would hope that you wouldn't worry that, oh, he's a comedian, he might feel. I would hope that you would step to me as a Muslim brother, whether you be a Muslim brother or Muslim sister or elder, that you would step to me understanding that I want to be right on the day of judgment. And that's all I could say. And I want you to be right on the day of judgment. And I want you to be happy, and I want you to be safe. So part of this video was I'm stepping out on faith because I'm a Muslim comedian. I'm an OG. And I'll talk to Hasan Minhaj because he's my little brother. And I don't want people going after him because I know that's going to happen. But I just want you guys to hear this conversation, understand, in some regards, we have to lead with love. Because if you can't lead with love, then you're not going to lead with any. So listen, have a great day. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for your time. Now how people go, hey, subscribe to my channel, share this. Nah, man, don't share this anywhere. Pick up the phone, call people, have conversations. That's the way we used to do it. I'm tired of this social media. Oh, so-and-so has 1 million views. I don't care about views. I didn't come from views. You know what views meant? You look out and you see if that person was doing what they said out in the community. That's real talk. Let's get back to conversation. Hasan Minhaj, love you, man. Call me. You know my number. Everybody, have an exceptional day today. I hope you had an exceptional day, and tomorrow, may Allah continue to bless you. This is Preacher Moss, the SOS Shout Out Show. Holla at you. Peace.